Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My cat Bond is here to join us today as well. Today's video is all about my new planner system that I recently created. I also made one for my brother, so you get to see that as well. I'm going to show you what my planner system looks like, how I made it, and how you can make your own as well. Let me give you a little preview of what it looks like. So this is the new planner I've made. To give you a little bit of context, for the past 5 years I used a bullet journal. And in this new phase of my life where I started a full-time job this past year, I found that I didn't have the same amount of downtime to decorate my bullet journal like I used to before. And by downtime, I mean I used to decorate my bullet journal during a lecture when I should have been paying attention, but instead I was doodling plants and flowers. So in this new phase of my life, I tried out some pre-made planners like the self journal. But I really missed the customizability, the flexibility, and the creative outlet that my bullet journal was. I wanted a planner that was completely made to all of my custom needs, things that I needed to organize for my job, things that I needed to organize for my side projects such as YouTube, my blog, Instagram, and also room to brainstorm and room for creativity to still decorate those weekly and monthly spreads. So what I did was I created my own planner system, and I'm going to show you how. This planner system is a hybrid of a bullet journal and a pre-made planner. I also made one for my brother who is a freshman in college, so if you're in college, you'll get to see a college version as well. He also wants a more minimalistic and simple approach where he still wants to have the organizational tool that a planner is, but he wants it to be as simple as possible, not spending too much time in his planner. You also get to see my planner, which is a lot more intense. I'd like to spend a lot of time in my planner because this is where I brainstorm, get ideas out, and also organize my life. So let's get started with how I made this planner, how you can make your own planner, and then we'll move into a show and tell of what my brother and I's unique planner systems look like. I got all these items from Amazon and I'll link it down below. But first you will need an A5 6-ring binder, some A5 dot grid paper that is 6-hole punched. And finally, you will need a laptop with some kind of software like Google Slides, Photoshop. I personally use PowerPoint, and you will use this to create the templates. The first step is to scan the A5 dot grid paper. I use an app called CamScanner on my phone, which is super easy to use. You take a picture of the page and upload it to your Google Drive. Next, I place this scan on my PowerPoint slide so I can see where the binder holes are. In order to get a view of where the binder holes would be on the left-hand side of my notebook, I just vertically flip the scan so now the holes are on the right-hand side. Use a combination of the shapes tool, text box tool, table tool to create all of my templates, which I'll go into more detail a little bit later of what my templates look like. Next was definitely the step that took the most trial and error. I printed a lot of pages upside down by accident, but don't worry, all these pages will be recycled. What works best for my printer is to put the holes on the left-hand side and the top of the paper facing away from me. That got the prints to come out in the right orientation. The next step is, of course, to stick all the pages into your A5 6-ring binder, and an option is to also get some A5 page dividers so that you can divide the planner into sections. So first, starting off with the templates I made for my planner. First, we have a monthly view, and I have this intro monthly 2020 page, and I left it relatively blank so that I have room for doodles. The monthly layout is pretty standard. I left it so that I could customize it for any month that I wanted. Next, I have my weekly layout, which I also have this intro page every week. In my weekly layout, I have listed out the elements of my life that I want to make sure I fulfill. The elements are what events I have going on. Physical, so this is anything to do with my physical health. Mental health. Spiritual, this is an area that I really want to grow. Next is relationships. I get a quick view of how much time I'm spending investing in the relationships I have with people. So that means making FaceTime calls, playing video games together, anything like that. And finally, career, things that I'm doing for my career. So this just gives me an immediate weekly layout, but a more granular level than the monthly layout gives me on where I'm spending my time and how I am fulfilling these areas of my life. Next, I have these gray boxes that divide up the different categories because I like to categorize my to-do list. So for this week, this is essentially a giant to-do list, and I'll have YouTube on one section, blog on one section, Instagram, workouts, so on. I also have a work projects template because at work I am juggling a lot of projects at the same time and they kind of get jumbled in my head. Next is my daily layout, which I have one of these for each day, and at the top I have a little section to date what day it is, and I start off with listing out my top 3 targets, and this has changed the game for my productivity. I also have a timetable. I really love time blocking. I also find that I remember the events and how I want to spend my time during the day better when I have to physically illustrate them out. Next half of my daily layout is first I have my daily gratitude. What went right? When I go back and I look on the week, I can take note of what went well and incorporate more of that in my life. Then I also have lessons learned. So this might be things I did that didn't go so well that I want to improve on, or just anything in life I identified that could be improved. And this is where I get a lot of my product ideas. Next, I have a little food document because I wanted to be more conscious of what I was eating. Having to consciously write it down adds another step of awareness to what you are feeding inside of your body. Next, a little habits tracker. I find just listing out the good habits I did that day is sufficient for me and makes me very happy. Next, I also have a weekly finance check-in. I use the Mint app to keep track of my spendings in every category. I use this layout in my planner as a prompt to go check in on the Mint app, physically record down what the status of my spendings and account savings are. I've learned to view budget more as self-care. Having this check-in has really helped me build awareness in my financial state and get a better idea of what things I can afford and what things I cannot afford. Next, I have a wish list. I think about 3 years ago, I went on this journey to kind of just minimalize my belongings. Having a wish list is a great tool for me because anything that I want to buy, I put on this wish list, and this has eliminated the problem of impulse purchases. And that also gives me an idea of every month of how much my spendings are going to be for my shopping category. I also have a morning routine and evening routine worksheet because I love designing a good morning evening routine, and I just wanted some space to brainstorm how I could be spending my mornings better, because I don't think it's about waking up super early. It's about intentions, having an intentional morning routine that benefits what you need. And if sleeping in is what you need, then you put that in your morning routine. I never really had a good evening routine, and lately I've been reading the book The 4-Season Solution, and they really emphasize the importance of spending time in darkness in the evening in order to calibrate your hormones, and especially your sleep hormone. So that is something I'm trying to be more intentional about. Those are all the templates I created for me. Now let's take a look into the templates I created for my brother, a freshman in college. His templates are definitely a lot more simple. He wants a planner that's easier to use, still offers him the tools to be productive and keep track of all of his assignments and time. So his monthly layout is the same as mine. In his weekly layout, I have a week-long view, and I have all his classes put in check boxes for each day, because now, especially since his classes are online, this is an easy way to keep track of which classes he attends and which ones he needs to go back and watch the recordings for. Then under that, I have a little to-do list that is categorized by class. For his classes, he has a lot of repeating assignments, so I put this onto the template so he doesn't have to fill it out every week, and it also reminds him to get it completed for the week. There's also some extra space for him to fill out any other assignments that he gets from those classes. Now for his daily view, all he really wanted was to have a timetable, because I showed him the technique of time blocking and he has agreed that it is a great tool. In his daily layout, in the last day, I also incorporated a little bit of a weekly finance check-in. Also note that I made the ink on these templates very light, especially in the timetable, because that makes it easy to write over and to adjust the time of the timetable. And this boy's trying to get famous on TikTok, so go follow him. I gave him a few pages to plan TikTok storyboards so he can jot down his ideas. And also, of course, being the big sister, I had to give him a few journaling prompts because I think journaling is great. I have a lot of great journaling tools that I want to enlighten him with. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, or if you just want to comment on the video, let me know what you thought. My name is Sarah. I make videos on career, entrepreneurship, productivity. I'm a hardware engineer at Microsoft. Comment, like, subscribe if you want more. Bye!
Young age, trying to make a bit. Now that I'm up, they all on my dick. No contracts, never thrown a brick, just trying to keep it